So, for those of you curious, what I'm about to regale you with is the the story of Jing Yuan's line. So let's start off with this. There's been a lot of confusion as to whether Jing Yuan has a new line named Mimi, and therefore. So, here we go. I was wandering around the exalting sanctum today and saw a foreign Eladian peddling along the street. I went up and found out that they were selling pets. The animal I saw looked like a house cat, but its body was much smaller. It was lying down on a mat in the bamboo cage, purring and meowing affectionately. However, after the ambrosial arbor took root, most of the CyYuVtuber people preferred large and strong pets. I asked the Baladian why this animal was so small and if anyone had shown interest in buying it. The person responded that it is true that the CyYuVtuber people like large and strong pets, but there are also those who love petite and delicate ones. Now that he saw the sparkle in my eyes, he expected that I must be the latter. Perhaps it was fate. I couldn't refuse. The person also said that this small animal is called a grimalkin, and it was one of the species that the ancestors of the CyYuVtuber loved to keep during the primeval Imperium era. Today, the strong CyYuVtuber house cat evolved from this small grimalkin. This was in line with what I'd read in old texts. However, the grimalkin had been extinct for many years. This made me suspicious, and I inquired about its origin. The person swore to me that though the grimalkins were extinct in CyYuVtuber, they were bred on many other planets. This animal is truly just an ordinary white grimalkin. It was neither genetically modified, nor was it an invasive species, so I could rest assured. Thank you for the raid, Josie. Thank you, welcome. I'm about to make people real sad. How could I turn down looking after a long extinct little animal to help continue its lineage, especially after petting those tender little paws? Eventually, I paid a hefty sum for the grimalkin, named it Mimi, and took it home. Only that I'm too busy with official business and have little time to take care of Mimi. After thinking it over, chores like feeding it and changing its water should also be instructed to Qingzu. So, Jing Yuan bought a small cat, or at least what he thought, and named it Mimi. I don't have part 3 yet. I'm sure I can find it soon. Hey, thank you for the subby. December 22nd. Mimi is getting bigger and becoming more and more attached. It's also very intelligent. Mimi's soft, snow-like fur flows like the clouds, and its 9 rigid tail has a big ball of fuzz at the end. Mimi's round, full, and blue irises possesses radiating patterns like cracks over ice. Their colors are rich, charming, and dignified. However, Mimi's appetite is strangely large. Is it really a grimalkin? I thought to myself the name Mimi might not be too appropriate at this point. Qingzu told me the other day that she had purchased 200 catties worth of meat for the seat of Divine Foresight's meals in the past week, but Mimi wiped it all clean. The story did not end there. She also said that this has become the gossip of the town, and the rumors have it that the general has been neglecting his duties and indulging in gluttony instead. This has gotten the people all riled up. Qingzu was worried that could be bad for me, but I didn't think too much of it and told her not to worry. In my opinion, the glutton general sounds more impressive than the dozing general. So, there is a part of the story missing because I do not have the last diary of Jing Yuan, and I actually don't know where it is, but I do know what happens. It turns out that the lion or that Mimi is not a grimalkin. It is a very type. Unless, you know what? I don't have to regale you. I can tell you right now. Perfect. January 19th. The food expenses are gradually becoming unsustainable. I thought that there must be some way to deal with this, so I brought in a healer from the Alchemy Commission to check on wave-treading snow-lying. Sorry, Qingzu, I'm horrible at naming. The healer's consultation was fruitless, instead suggesting we try some genetic testing. By the way, wave-treading snowline is Mimi's new name. Try some genetic testing. I agreed. The results were in line with its food intake. As expected, it was not a Grimalkin after all, let alone an ordinary house cat. It was a lion. Hence the name change from Mimi to wave-treading snowlion. However, this fact did not affect its usual Grimalkin-like behavior. Whenever snowlion is free, it usually is, it either scratches the silk curtains or rips the felt, or engorges itself on its specially prepared schnezopeta. I have no idea how to say that. Of course, Jing's efforts can't be overstated. She's really trained it well, but sometimes it unfortunately gets in the way of official business. All that aside, the top priority now should be to find ways to reduce the food expenditure. I'm afraid this will take some time to figure out. So that's the premise of of the lion. But there's more. The story of Mimi, or wave-treading snowline, isn't over. Let's talk to Chinsu. I'd like to learn more. I've already talked to Qingzu about it. Oh, I've already skipped it. Hold on. I have to reset it. I have to reset it. All right, here we go. But seeing as you're Jing Yuan's esteemed guest, I suppose I can divulge a few in-house secrets to you. Undercover Pepin, thank you for the subby. There used to be a pet lion kept at the seat of divine foresight called Snow Moon. This was Qingzu's name for wave-treading snow lion, because it's a ridiculous name, so Qingzu decided to name it something else. Similar, but different. Jing Yuan adored it, and the lion would spend all day following him about. But one day, while the abominations of abundance were raging against us, the marshal rallied his troops and ordered Jing Yuan to lead an expedition force to purge their territory. Just like that, 300 years passed. Snow Moon didn't understand what the hunt meant for the Xianzhou, and thought Jing Yuan would never come back. It would wait at the front gate of the seat of divine foresight, just waiting and waiting for 300 years. On the day Jing Yuan returned, triumphant, he arrived at the gates to the seat of divine foresight and saw a withered old lion slowly staggering towards him. In the final moments of its life, Snow Moon finally reconnected with Jing Yuan. Snow Moon slowly drifted off to sleep in Jing Yuan's arms, just as it had when it was a cub. Those stone lines you can see out the front of the seat of divine foresight were directed by Jing Yuan to commemorate his dear friend Snow Moon, the snow lion. Because it was the third cub of its litter, it became known as Snow Lion the Third. How about this story then? Good enough for you? I'm afraid it doesn't sound real to me. Which of these stone lions here is Snow Lion the Third? I'm touched. They're all pretty similar. Let me think. Is it that one on the east? Are you making this up? I can't actually remember. Actually, it might be that one to the west. And there's one more thing I have to show you. If you walk up to this line right here. Oh, wait. Maybe it was this one. It's one of these. There it is. You notice a sentence engraved on the base of the stone line underneath a thick layer of dust. After brushing the dust away, you see a beautiful inscription. This is the resting place of Snow Moon, whose loyalty will never be forgotten. And that is the story of Jing Yuan's lion. Astrospheres, thank you so much for this up. Now, I do want to bring this up. So, I wanted to touch base on it because I found this out because I saw on TikTok, and then I went looking for it myself. And a lot of people were misconstruing that Mimi and Snow Moon are two different lions. They are the same lion. They are the same lion. And is that some line for our Jing YUAN'S? You know, I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, now I will say this. I did see some posts be like, he's the voice actor. I think he would know. I'm gonna tell you right now. I did not know anything about the line. I did not know anything about Snow Moon until playing Honkai. I knew the art existed of the splash art of Jing Yuan came out with the snow line, but I was never informed because Jing Yuan never records anything about the line, you know? So to say that, just because, all right, Jing Yuan, relax. Just because I am the voice of Jing Yuan doesn't mean I know all the lore. Sometimes I will be learning as much as you guys. Sometimes there may be things that I know that you guys will never know about the character. And to those about defending or whatever, using the excuse that I'm one of the voice actors so I would know better, in this instance, no. I did not know anything up until playing this game. And you guys, the fans, going about and playing the game and finding out for yourselves. So yeah. And the thing is that sometimes we won't know and sometimes we will know. It's not always the case, but don't just assume because I'm the voice of Jing Yuan, I know every single little detail about Jing Yuan. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I will do my best to continue learning what I can about Jing Yuan and his story, and the same for the other characters that I voice. All right, relax, buddy. But I just want to make that clear, okay? There are some things that I will stand by when, you know, it comes to, like, you know, when I talk about certain characters and we deep dive into knowing about the characters. But if I'm not given the information, I don't know. Wait, you're not actually Jing Yuan? I mean, I like sleeping, so, you know, therefore, I'm the carbon copy of Jing Yuan. But in all seriousness, that is the story of Snow Lion. And when I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, it's Seymour and Futurama all over again, and I'm so depressed. I did cry the first time, and I almost cried reading that stuff to you, chat. So there you go.